Yes, a day in sport when a team's time has arrived. We know time itself for a Lions squad is restricted, and what days they've had together to prepare disappeared now. It's all about this, to give themselves one more week to make it all about next week. The two teams for the second test, and no changes in the pack for New Zealand. Joe Moody, Cody Taylor and Owen Franks form the front row again. Broder Italic and Sam Whitelock as respected a second row pairing, as you will find in the World Game. Jerome Kano, Sam Cane and Captain Kieran Reid, the back row. Reid with that amazing return from injury at Eden Park. Aaron Smith and Bowden Barrett. Barrett, who covered fullback when Ben Smith went off. It's Sonny Bill Williams and Anton Leonard-Brown, who comes in for the injured Ryan Crotty. Then Rico Ioane, 2 tries in Test 1. Waisaki Naholo into the back 3 for him. Israel Dag, a move to fullback, covering for the absent Smith. The Lions do make changes up front, but not in the front row. Mako Vunipola, Jamie George and Tyg Furlong again. Maro Itoje starts in for George Cruz. Alan Wynne-Jones keeps his place. And Sam Warburton starts, taking over the jersey and captaincy from Peter O'Mahony, who is out of the 23 altogether. Sean O'Brien and Talupe Faletau complete the pack. Johnny Sexton is into partner Connor Murray. Owen Farrell moves to centre then, to partner Jonathan Davis. And the wings and fullbacks stay the same. Elliot Daly, Anthony Watson and Liam Williams. Williams having instigated that remarkable Lions try a week ago. The replacements and the new men there for the Lions are Courtney Laws, CJ Stander and Jack Knoll. Ben Teo has been asked to step down from the off at centre. And for New Zealand, Nani Laumape was so good again in that position for the Hurricanes here on Tuesday. He's asked to stand by for a first All Black cap. So can the Lions do it? Should those chances come along, can they take them to take the series to a final deciding test? And Sam Warburton about to get to lead the team out, as he did in the first 2 tests in Australia 4 years ago, when it was Australia who managed to come back to level the series. And even though injury prevented the captain from playing his part in the 3rd test, that tour did have a happy ending for the Lions. And this one only will, if these Lions can win today.
Well, as Warburton leads the team out, behind him the key man is that Irishman Johnny Sexton. He's been selected to ensure the Lions play at the right pace in the right parts of the field. Motivation will be no problem tonight. Execution is the key. New Zealanders, well, they love Maro Itoje. They love him for his energy, his enthusiasm, his raw edge and the attitude. Up against 2 of the world's finest lock forwards, tonight represents the biggest test of his short rugby life.
Well, the All Blacks were tested last week, but as so often, coming through the test as the more clinical team, the one that doesn't waste the chance when it comes along. And in their grasp tonight, the series, should the next couple of hours go to their plan. The weather potentially a governing force, but New Zealand teams know how to cope with, even utilise the rain. Windy, wet Wellington to welcome the men in black, with a job at this stage half done.
Bowden Barrett, will he be the man of the moment? Israel Dag played wing last season, but he's even more at home at fullback. He plays with confidence, a smile on his face, reassuring to teammates, a free-winning threat to the opposition. Up front, well, for all the glamour in the All Black team, you need some glue to hold it all together. Sam Cane provides the adhesive. He blasted away at the breakdown and was as busy as any in the loose against the Lions last week. They simply don't do poor open sides.
Great atmosphere in here. There was on Tuesday for the Hurricanes, and there is so again, even more so on match day, Test match day, of course. We rise for the New Zealand anthem. "16 straight wins here at the Cake Tin for New Zealand. More intimidating stats piled high. The Lions trying to clamber over all that history. Here's the haka. Great scenes. Referee is Jérôme Garcès of France. His fellow countryman Romain Poit assists tonight and will be in charge next week. Jaco Paper of South Africa, last week's ref, is also on the touchline this evening. What state will the series be in next week? Are we to have a game that would feel like the game to end all games? The rain continues to lash down. Johnny Sexton from the off. Aaron Smith. First high one to deal with for Liam Williams. It comes bouncing back. The quality of the kicking could really test the players tonight as Sexton clears.
First box kick from Aaron Smith, very good. We know about Conor Murray and what a fine kicker he is of a box kick, but this guy Smith, absolutely superb. He ran the show last week. He had the ball on his fingertip, drove the forwards on the fringes, kicked superbly. One hell of a player.
Cody Taylor had the ball on his fingertips. With that try and that pickup, he finds his men there, but that's good from the Lions. Alan Wynne-Jones right in there. And Elliot Daly calls for the mark. Another kicking option himself, of course. Long range off the tee as well.
Very good strike, really good strike there from Elliot Daly.
Exactly what the Lions would have started there. There was the physicality, Alan Wynne-Jones getting into it, Vunipola getting into it, good mark, territory. This is exactly what they wanted.
Mako Vunipola, born in this city. Taylor again. And the Lions got on top of the New Zealand line-out last week at times, and they do so again.
Yeah, they had a lot of joy there. You could see that last week. Lions very dominant. New Zealand will think this time, though, there's no Peter O'Mahony, there's no George Cruz. But what's interesting there, I looked at that first line out and Sean O'Brien was not in the line out. He was standing straight opposite Sonny Bill Williams. I think he is going to be targeting that man. Watch the line out. He came out away from his forwards and he was standing straight in the line of Sonny Bill.
Maritoje was goading Taylor to throw in.
You know, there's all the talk about can Farrell and Sexton handle the threat of Sonny Bill Williams on the gain line and the offload. Well, I think from lineouts, that man, Sean O'Brien, is going to be given a special task, take out Sonny Bill.
Conor Murray. And the scrum half has a go, has a dart. Elliot Daly with him. Another penalty. And that will certainly please the Lions. Sean O'Brien was making the point last week, or during the week, and even at the end of the game of the first test, he was having a word with the referee, but he was talking about the French referees perhaps favouring the attacking side at the breakdown and doing it quickly and early in the match.
And you could see what Jérôme Garcés does here. If you watch the signal as Daly steps off his foot, reads there, doesn't release the ball, and you can see immediately Garcés is saying too slow, too slow. You know, I spoke to him about this. He said, if you're on the wrong side and there's any doubt, he'll ping you. If you're close to actually having the hands over the ball, he'll be competitive.
Jamie George does find his man, and that man is Captain Warburton. And off goes O'Brien. First time those two have played together from the start. Warburton and O'Brien at 6 and 7. Then it was a Toje getting stuck in again. O'Brien once more. Faletau feeds to Furlong. Tig Furlong. Oh, that is powerful from the Irish prop. A Toje whose eyes were lighting up. Big disappointment for the Lions because they were building some genuine momentum there.
Mario Itoje took his eyes off the ball. The initial drive was excellent. The men were just hitching on to the carriers really well, and New Zealand had problems. Mako Vunipola was driving players out of the way. Furlong, though, you can see the support drive there from Faletau. Warburton there making good meters, and then there the eye goes up, he sees Sam Whitelock, and the ball goes loose.
Yeah, talking to some of the Lions players this week, they've had two of the most physical sessions, one on Tuesday, one on Thursday. They've been short, but they've been really, really sharp, just getting into this physicality. They did feel last week that New Zealand were more physical at the breakdown. It's a lot better early this week.
And in terms of the physicality, Kano tends to be their talisman. That was a big carry from Tig Furlong to get in at Kano and win that little 6-inch battle either side of the gain line.
And in conditions like this, 6 inches, time and again, will matter. It will add up to quite a lot of distance and points.
The referee will want to settle this scrum down. It's on the move from both sides. Rico Ioane on the wing, 2 tries in his first test start. It's 3 and 3 now for the youngster, just 20 years of age.
You can see the New Zealand kicking strategy here. Beauden Barrett on his home ground comes around on the short side. Israel Dagg, who's got a huge raking boot on the other side. Aaron Smith with his own kicking game. Like the Lions, they have got some very good kicking options.
Barrett, the only Hurricane starting. 3 more on the bench. Israel Dagg. Liam Williams. Beauden Barrett on the floor, but the ball's gone forward.
Good high ball from Liam Williams. Gave himself a chance to get there, put a lot of height on it, chased really well, and just gets that right hand up, and it just distracts Israel Dagg, who'll be really frustrated there. It's an unusual error for Israel Dagg. Eye off the ball. Liam Williams just flashes that right hand, and that did the business. And look at Dagg, knows he should have taken that.
Unusual stadium, it swirls around in here, especially on a night like this. All Blacks have been using that extra fullback policy. Well, Israel Dagg off the wing, 2 fullback tonight. Ben Smith out of the series, concussion returning. There's an issue for him and no risk taken, quite rightly so. It's pretty solid from the Lions. Faletau to Murray and Daly off that wing. Murray again, some good territory early on for the Lions. Jones. George. Driven back that time by Retallick. Sexton takes it to the line. Farrell onto Williams, looking for support. Didn't risk the pass, though. Toje ships it to Vunipola. And Sexton. And Sexton again to Jonathan Davis, out the back to Alwyn Jones and Elliot Daly. O'Brien. establishing themselves quite nicely into the match here, the Lions. Now can they get the points to show for it? Well, Watson will have to go back and retrieve. And Leonard Brown was there. Vunipola again. Stays on his feet. Farrell and Sexton, and then Liam Williams. The whistle's gone. The referee was right in line.
Well, forward pass, but that's really good from the Lions there. Some excellent play, both as ball carrying and a gorgeous little touch from Johnny Sexton. The fate to go just takes out Sonny Bill, and the offload gives Daly a bit of room. Sexton started very nicely, and Vunipola carrying extremely well just forward there, but very encouraging. The Lions are trying to keep the ball, deprive New Zealand of attacking opportunities, and they've done that very well in the first 9 minutes. No points, Will, but they've made a good start.
They're really playing, aren't they, Stuart, in terms of keeping the ball in hand. Jonathan Davis, excellent offload out the back, decoy runners, purpose, dynamism, inside shoulder lines, big carries from those front five. It's an absolutely excellent start. It really, truly is.
Johnny Sexton went off right at the end of the 2013 series when it was all won. Now he's out there tonight from the start to run the show, show his experience.
Do you remember his face, Miles, when he went off? He's such a competitor. He wanted to be out there till the end, didn't he? It was nothing against Owen Farrell, but that's the sort of man he is. And you can see how well the Lions have started. They're carrying a lot. They're making the meters. 9 gain line successes, really good. New Zealand on starvation rations at the moment.
And twice before in Wellington, 71 and 93. Elliot Daly gets his geography right, but also there is Naholo. Looking to get the offload in. With both centres lurking, now Dag driven backwards. Referee playing on for the advantage here. After the knock on, and now the whistle will come.
It's an interesting call. Beauden Barrett going off the very first kick with the cross kick there. It's his favourite ploy, but that's a dangerous call. It almost comes the way of Naholo, but I think the Lions will be expecting quite a lot of kicking coming from Anton Leonard-Brown a little bit later there. If Barrett's going early there, it's quite a good sign that New Zealand are just thinking, let's try and get our game into operation. It's not working yet.
Saka Naholo scored against the Lions in Dunedin, underneath the roof, of course. Very similar night to tonight. We just didn't know about it. It was on the outside.
It's a much worse night than tonight. I mean, it looks terrible tonight, but this is Wellington, and both teams are ready for the weather, and it's very playable, let's put it that way.
And the pitch takes it. It was relayed before Super Rugby.
A wide scrum. They'll look to get Naholo or Sonny Bill down the Sexton channel early.
Smith. Naholo off his wing. And Reid involved. Smith again. Kano coming through. First time in the match, the All Blacks inside the Lions half, and they have a scoring opportunity.
And that's the worry about the Farrell-Sexton partnership. Two great playmakers, lovely hands, good kicking game, but Owen Farrell has missed some tackles on this tour, and Kano goes straight over in there, and it enables New Zealand to find an opportunity to get this. Here you can just see Kano. That's a tackle that Ben Teo makes that Owen Farrell does not, and it leads to a penalty. Now Beauden Barrett, we came into this tour thinking the big weakness of Barrett was his goal kicking. It hasn't worked out like that, has it? He's been kicking superbly. And one thing I noticed, Miles, watching him in practice at the captain's run yesterday, nearly all his practice was straight in front of the post, the 15-metre line. He doesn't bother with the fancy kicks. He just goes for the balance. And you can see last week, it paid off. He nailed everything that mattered.
Nobody knows this ground and the conditions better than this man.
He was sending them out to the right yesterday, and they were... The first one didn't come back, the rest of them did. He just about mastered it after about 15 hard minutes kicking.
Well, he's not got this one. Flawless last week, but fails at the outset this second test.
Great news for the Lions. Barrett kicking everything is the last thing they need. Barrett missing in front of the post gives them a little bit of a psychological fillip there. And you can see from the Irish flags there, great jubilation on the British and Irish fans' faces.
The meeting of the number 8s, Reid the captain and Faletau. Sam Cane. He'll limp it at the breakdown, proved that again last week. Emerging leader within the group as well, has already captained New Zealand. Sam Whitelock another. And Retallick, well, what do you say about him at the moment and his play? He wasn't held, goes on. Whitelock once more.
It's how they played it in the first 20 last week. Pick and drive and try and draw the Lions' defence in around the fringes.
Oh, with that ball lost, and Warburton takes it. And Atoje and Faletau found it just behind him.
Plenty of errors being made by the All Blacks at the moment. Kieran Reid, impeccable last week. That one slips out of his hands. Reasons for encouragement for the Lions, plenty in the first 15.
Yeah, the Lions in the changing room would be talking, and they said, okay, 15 minutes in, what do we need to do? We need to score early. We haven't done that, but we haven't conceded. And with that Beauden Barrett miss at goal, that just gives you a little bit of lift as a player, and then you can get on the front foot again. This is a big scrum for them now, just to get back into this game.
Also, you see the split there. It's Johnny Sexton is fading out to the left. Farrell is out to the right. There's kicking options either way. And then there's the double bluff, and to try and give someone like Anthony Watson a little bit of space to go one-on-one. Scott made the point as well. The Lions do need more carrying from Faletau as well. This is a good position for it.
Here's Murray from Faletau. Then it's Liam Williams, got Watson outside. Anthony Watson gets into the game. Now, similar position last week. He went on a run. Beat 2 or 3. It's just the final pass that didn't work this time. The ball is not released.
Sam Cane, an unbelievable nuisance from the Lions' perspective. Had a wonderful first test and is just making a mess of things yet again. And that gives Beauden Barrett a chance to knock this ball down into the Lions' territory. This is an area where the Lions have to keep playing well. The breakdown went against them last week. And you can see now what's happened. Barrett's just sailed that ball 30 metres infield. Watson goes in, he's stepping away. Barrett's in there, and there he is. That is fantastic technique. He's so low. Brilliant stuff.
So at least to this, Taylor throws. And Kano with the take, and a chance for the All Blacks to get them all rolling here. Lions regroup and turn it over. With a little psychological blow that, and listen to the Lions fans. Comes hard on the back of the Barrett miss. And Owen Farrell's enjoyed it. Alwyn Jones too.
It's all very to and fro at the moment. New Zealand get a little battle, little win. The Lions come back. Maro Atoje's big left hand, great play. That's the old Saracens technique from Atoje, the big left hand.
Yeah, this is what I like now. The fact that the forwards are all pumped up. You can see them. They're getting some turnovers. You got there, the All Blacks are coming at you. Alwyn, Jones, Toje, they're all looking at them in the eye. It's exactly what we talked about before the game. Get up there, get the elbows, get everything into them, little nudges, and that'll just get them on the front foot. They'll just get into the All Blacks' mind.
Referee had to just have a calming word there. They've picked up on the microphone between Retallick and Jones. Coming back on the All Black side now. They're the ones cheering and laughing.
And psychologically, the scrum was an area of such massive strength last week. The Lions thought they could take it to the All Blacks because of what happened when 4 of this front 5 played for the Crusaders, and the Lions made mincemeat of them. Last week it was turned around and the Lions suffer again another scrum penalty. The technique, the timing is really good there. Looks to me like Mako Vunipola's under big pressure. He is. Owen Franks putting the squeeze on there. Mako comes down.
And did you notice Aaron Smith looking for the potential quick one? Caught the Lions napping last week, just in case. But signal for the posts, and this man, Bowden Barrett, to try and make amends for that early miss.
And this really was the spot that he was almost obsessively kicking from. 15 metres, left-hand side of the post, nothing but.
And it was windy yesterday afternoon, but not the rain. So kick through all of that. And he does. And that's exactly what he did repeatedly in practice. Lovely little pull back. And showing that he does know these conditions pretty well.
It's advantage New Zealand scrum, but in the rest of the game the Lions have more than held their own in the first quarter.
Dag takes. Some aerial questions will be asked tonight. The Lions have got to find some down-to-earth answers at Williams. Spills again. Sonny Bill Williams tries to kick through, and then the referee will call a halt after another knock-on. Trying to catch in this rain under that sort of pressure is not an easy task.
No, treacherous, and there's a lot of, yeah, as you say, pressure coming up, swirling wind as well. Naholo gets himself in no position to catch it, but he makes it very difficult for Liam Williams. We're getting a bit of pinball rugby at the moment. We'll have quite a few of those knock-ons from the box kicks with the ball just ricocheting all over the place. Good kick again, though, from Smith.
I have rarely been in rain like this pitch side. It is monsoon-like.
You could see it dripping off Graham Rowntree there, Will's former teammate at the Leicester Tigers. Now that's another penalty that the Lions will be pleased about. They made that point this week as well. Just watch that offside line, referee, the request.
One for the Lions management there. Now you can see the conditions. Not easy for Owen Farrell. Has not been kicking at his best. Has to start nailing everything. You can see at the moment, not much in terms of penalties conceded. And that's an indication of how slippery it is, how bad the conditions are, as Will says, because Aaron Smith doesn't mishandle much. This is a very big kick because Farrell has missed just about every game an eminently kickable kick, and he doesn't have that aura of invincibility when he strikes at the moment. And the Lions, if they're going to win this, they need Farrell kicking like he does for England in Europe, kicking like he does for Saracens in European Champions Cup. They need Farrell at his invincible best.
Well, this will give the team and the supporters a massive boost from this distance. On nights like these are the moments that really start to add up. Oh, what a kick! Boost supplied by the boot of Owen Farrell.
Really irritating for the All Blacks. There was no need for them to concede that penalty. Lions management said watch out for the offside. Garces spotted it. Farrell has delivered through the wind, rain. What a kick.
Now on the restart, just keep that concentration, and Itoje does, although you could see he nearly lost grip of that ball. Everything's difficult. It's in the clutches of the captain, Sam Warburton, and the Lions on the move here. They'll want to milk this for as long as they can. Might lead to the penalty. Now told to use it. Murray in charge of that situation. Anthony Watson's gone across on that side now, and there's his tackle. Sean O'Brien couldn't quite. Sonny Bill Williams. Falatau. He's got good feet, and Murray and Watson. Lions not happy about that challenge. George Ayoub is going to be asked to have a look at it by Jerome Garces. There's Jones. TMO stepped in here.
Sign of frustration. We know that Sonny Bill is one of the hardest hitters, but hitting is not legal. If he doesn't use his arms, that is a penalty. Now we'll see. Coming in on Watson. Oh, that's a shoulder, and it's in on Watson's head as he goes down, and that could easily be yellow card.
I should say so.
Well, I'd say it's certainly yellow card. Certainly yellow. Could be more.
There's no obvious slip from Williams.
He's going.
Full committee there. Great experience from the officiating team. George Ayoub just wants to make sure that the referee is going down the right route here.
Every time you look at that, it looks more and more like red, doesn't it? Watson's not going down as he comes in. There's no mitigating circumstances. He lines him up and he smacks him with the shoulder in the face.
It's the way the game is now, and it's like it for good reason. We should not forget that. But that is a massive moment in the context of this series.
Well, suddenly it's advantage Lions. It's a dangerous challenge. The game's authorities have changed the rules to make sure that players are protected. You look at the changes, you look at what happened there, and that's a perfectly fine piece of officiating there. Steve Hansen will be very worried now, though.
Alan Wynne-Jones just couldn't take the line out. Exactly the point where the Lions want to assert control now. Set the tone at the start of this permanent sin bin period. They'll be playing with the extra man for the rest of the game. Daly, Jack Knoll onto the field. His first taste of Lions Test match rugby as a result of the intervention of Sonny Bill Williams. And there goes this rugby magician. He really is one of the great players to watch. Those passes conjured up from nowhere. But tonight, an act of foul play.
And what a first touch from Jack Knoll there. Absolutely brilliant there. Lions make 30 metres from the kicking game. They win the kicking game, they win this match.
Yeah, if I was Sam Warburton now, I'd get the whole team in. I'd get them round in the circle and I'd say to them, right, this isn't going to win us the game. They're down to 14 men. So many times before we've seen it, that 14 men galvanise themselves, and nobody will do that more than the All Blacks. What he needs to emphasise to this team now, they need to be patient. They need to go through the phases. They now need to be more disciplined than they've ever been before, because any thought of a red card, then Gasset's well go to his pocket again. They need to make sure they keep their composure. This is an incredible, incredible opportunity for the Lions.
And the All Blacks now bring on Nani Laumape for his first cap. We get the centre on.
And this Jerome Kano has gone off, so New Zealand having to keep a full hand behind. They'll probably think the quality of their scrum, they could just about get away. But they've lost their demolition hitman when it comes to tackling. As for this man, Nani Laumape, he is a chunk and he's a powerful player. Anyone who saw the game Tuesday will know how dangerous he is.
Remember Ryan Crotty and Ben Smith, both injured last week. That one not straight. Lions do have time, lots of it, but at the moment they just can't settle with the man advantage. Let's just go to the studio and Sean Fitzpatrick. Sean, All Blacks sent off 1967. We go back a long, long time. What do the New Zealanders need to do now, in your view?
They just need to be very accurate. Laumape coming on is not ideal in terms of this stage of the game. They wouldn't have expected that. I said at the top of the show that they have different scenarios to react to. They would never have expected a setting off of Sonny Bill Williams after only the first quarter of the game gone. So really accurate, do the basics well. They feel as though they've got a forward pack that can compete with 7 men against 8. But this is going to be a huge, huge next 30 minutes to see if they can stay in the game.
Pine Tree, Colin Meads was the last All Black to be sent off against Scotland. Back goes Knoll. And Williams. Barrett. Up from Israel Dag. Williams again. Well, this one doesn't go forward, but it still needs dealing with and is dealt with by Sean O'Brien, who offloads to Sam Warburton. Then it's Murray through the legs of Vunipola. Again, it's not been knocked on. Johnny Sexton says, let's have a little bit of territory here. Needs a break on this, and it doesn't. And there's another error from the Lions. They just can't establish field position here.
Yeah, 60 metres gone there, and they had some fairly decent ball. Excellent play from Sean O'Brien. Cleared up the mess as that Liam Williams high ball hit the floor. Wonderful in concert with Warburton, and then the Lions just snatched a bit of the ball. And you can't snatch on a day like this. You've got to be sure about your passes. I also think they don't want to be looking 60 metres out, putting too many balls through the hands of people like Mako Vunipola. He's got great hands, but I don't think there's a place to use the tight 5 in your own half for running.
Will?
Fantastic game going on off the ball. last week where the Lions were nudged about and bumped when their body angles weren't quite right. There's a lot of All Blacks ending up with their backsides on the floor as the Lions just tweak them round the corner and allow space for O'Brien and Warburton. Fantastic work in the physical area this week.
Ken Owens trying to stay dry. Not easy. All Blacks have constantly got decisions to make here now. How many to have in the scrum. When to sacrifice the back. Now Marpi has already come on for the very unfortunate Jerome Kano. Crestfallen when he was forced to leave. Here's Barrett, takes it to the line himself now.
Good tackle, Murray.
And Jack Knoll in at the side, the call. We're hearing that Anthony Watson has passed his HIA.
Conor Murray made the excellent tackle initially on the speedy Beauden Barrett, but then he didn't roll away, and that's what these referees have been saying. If you hang around on that pitch near the tackle, we're going to ping you.
There's Murray penalised there, and Watson returns for Knoll.
I wonder what that will do for Sonny Bill's career in New Zealand. You make an error like that, and it's a big error, and selections can be ruthless after that. They have options. They've got some fine players for next week. He will not be playing next week, that we know.
We also know that the New Zealand side will embrace this as a challenge, almost relish it. And it's they who get the scoreboard ticking again with the boots of Beauden Barrett.
Well, we have a very different test match, don't we? I know that New Zealand didn't use the wide flanks that much last week, but there were some wonderful skills in their offloading around the fringes. Here, we're in a battle of attrition. The weather dictates it.
And Itoje might dictate this. And the Lions start to play straight from the restart in the area of the field they've been wanting to be in for the last 5 or so minutes. And look at what it brings about. And a chance to reap that reward now with a simple kick for Owen Farrell.
Liam Williams does absolutely brilliant. Look at the 15 there. He puts the pressure on. Dag can't catch it. He ricochets. And Itoje, he's so good at picking up the pieces. He's like a magpie. He just steals it. It's mine. Penalty for the Lions. They level it 6-all. Donald Trump looking surly. Look at that, Lions. We said they had to play in New Zealand territory. 58% isn't bad. I'd probably like it with an extra man for them to get over 60, but this is good for the Lions. Things are going their way.
Rain still coming down. It's maybe not quite as heavy. That's easy said when you're at the back of the stand. But Farrell should have no problem from there. And he doesn't. We're level again.
That's a change of restart from the Lions. They've normally kicked long to chase for Daly or Watson to tackle the receiver deep in the Kiwi 22. This time with the conditions, stick it up high, kick to compete.
Knock on from Liam Williams there. So Lions will take that. And Itoje will take that.
Miles, he's taken 2 restarts. He's the man who got the deflection there. He's going very well at the moment.
Really growing into the game. He is the line-out caller tonight. Taking over that role from George Cruz, his club teammate who is replaced in the side. That another error.
Well, they've got the extra man, but the Lions have to make it tell. Their restart work from the New Zealand penalty was excellent. That was much sloppier, and we've got to remember, even though New Zealand are a man down, they are still a deadly team. When they get to that 60-minute mark and find their way to go into overdrive. Sonny Bill's off, so their impact's slightly different, but we know how fit and quick they are.
Tipped down by Retallick. Now Marpe. Try on Tuesday for the Hurricanes, and 125 metres he gained in that match. He had a strong performance. His form has been excellent for a while, but Steve Hansen said he became irresistible after that. And there's another New Zealand penalty. Another message to the Lions. Play in the right areas. Had a chance to exit, didn't.
Once again, if you're anywhere near the ground, even a knee, then you're going to get penalised. No doubt at all. Garces has made it quite clear. O'Brien in first of all. Itoje, who has been powerful, tries the rip, misses it. Makavunapola has a good position initially. I think it's tough. He's on his knee first, so when the penalty is given, he looks like it's legitimate, but he hasn't got away from that tackler.
And the referee is being consistent.
And he was in a wonderful position as well. Garces was on one knee, about a metre from the breakdown. You couldn't ask for a referee to be in a better position.
And after his first miss, Beauden Barrett starting to be consistent now. And again, really should be from here to give the All Blacks the lead once more.
They've turned it into a fight. They used the weather well. They have some territorial control, albeit not as much as they would like, but they have to start moving that points board their way.
Israel Dag, very mindful of what happened last time from the restart. High from Barrett. And it's allowed to bounce, and Elliot Daly is bundled out.
We went into this match talking about the Lions' game management, and could Murray, Sexton and Farrell manipulate the Lions into the right part of the pitch. Now it's about the game management of New Zealand, 8, 9 and 10, one man down.
There's no hanging around at the line out there from New Zealand. It's not gone well for them in this series, the line out, and that lack of dwelling showing that, but that's so brilliant from Watson. Alan Wynne-Jones, Murray, Sexton. Oh, it's close to a charge down from Taylor. It's gone very high, that one, and it's too much for Naholo. It's not a knock-on.
Shape of things to come, perhaps. Naholo very uncomfortable.
Smith, and the men were in front of him. Technically offside there. By half a metre, but the officials didn't pick it up. And those things can make such a difference. Put into the All Blacks at the scrum.
Barrett does very well. He waits for Sexton to take it, and look at Whitelock's technique there. Gets in over in very high position. Lions try to drive it down, but Garza says the ball has not got there. You're going to see, I think, a lot of box kicking from Aaron Smith. I think the All Blacks will look to play short sides, try and manipulate this game at the moment with the one man down. They won't go as wide as early as they sometimes do.
It's the Lions with the put-in, because the player was taken directly from the kick. So the referee realizing that, and that decision gives the Lions the penalty.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of this, especially in the second half now. When you have a look, the Jerome Kano has gone off, and that's a strange decision when you have a look at it, because in this type of weather, these conditions, the Lions now, I expect, to play into the corners. Go and have a look, go and drive that line now, grind them down if you can get the scrum going. Exactly what the Lions would have wanted. With the centre going off, you take their big, aggressive number 6 off, and that's exactly where the Lions should look to target in the second half.
Yeah, play the corners and put the pressure on. Squeeze New Zealand. If the counter-attack can't come up with a try, get the penalty.
Itoje. Can the Lions produce something special before half-time? Well, initially they're in retreat. Doesn't make it easy now for Conor Murray, but Jonathan Davis barrels over the gain line, and Itoje looks to do the same. This will be the final play now. New Zealand down to 14 men, but set to go in at half-time in front, unless Johnny Sexton can do something here, but he's running out of space. That close to the touchline, but Murray knew exactly where it was, and Furlong finds Owen Farrell. Not for the first time in this series, he's dumped on his back, but it's Murray to Watson. It was Reid in the first test and Kane now in the second for Farrell. Jones to Farrell, who gets on with it and finds Davis, and here's a chance for Jonathan Davis. At the very least, the Lions would love to leave with a penalty, and they have that. Murray's thinking, and he's just trying, and it's fallen. And Watson trying to get there. Good thinking from Conor Murray. Might as well play the advantage.
Unbelievably quick-witted play there from Conor Murray. That was a touch of genius. If Aaron Smith had done that, we'd say, wow, that's why he's the #1. Brilliant. Conor Murray knows he's got a free play. Wonderful effort. Could have gone anywhere. Now Farrell, he's got to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. It goes straight through the post. 9-all. Normally, you would say the Lions would have the advantage because they've got the extra man, but against the All Blacks in New Zealand, you would probably say right now we're looking at 50-50, especially if this kick goes over.
But all square man advantage for the Lions at half-time. Of course they would have taken that at the start of the match. And they can get their ducks in a row in that changing room, and perhaps a very apt thing on a day like this to have a duck or two. Farrell to square it off again. That's exactly what he's done. And the Lions management leave their positions in the stand with a little spring in the step. Level on the ball, but not level in terms of numerical advantage. Lions certainly have that as a result of this challenge from Sonny Bill Williams, sent off. And you can get the views of Sean and Stephen with Alex after this. All level. They will never have a better chance. And Faletau. Murray. First things first, get it out of there, and that's exactly what Conor Murray does.
The first priority for the Lions this half is to play the rugby in the right part of the field. They have to do that. Don't mess around. Don't offload to front rowers 30 metres out. We've seen the penalties that are being given. Territory is the key to this match.
And leadership here key for New Zealand and their great number 8, Kieran Reid. Take at the line out to start the second half. His performance last week, first match back after injury. It's the equivalent really in forward terms of what Dan Carter did on this ground against the Lions in 05. And there is Reid again. And Dag sets it back to Aaron Smith and Joe Moody. Smith to Barrett. And that's the territory game.
Yeah, two can play that game. Beauden Barrett, I thought he was outstanding last week when he went to full back so early in the match. We didn't see him tearing the field up as it is way, but he played such a mature game. They wanted a Ben Smith. They got themselves a Ben Smith. He made no mistakes. Mark of real maturity that day, and he has to, along with Aaron Smith and Kieran Reid, play a big role in the next 35 minutes, even if at some stage he'll shift to full-back and Aaron Cruden will come on to change the New Zealand attack game around the 60-minute mark.
New Zealand trying to make a mess of that line out, but George and Itoje do not buy it. But the exchange in the end has been a good one for New Zealand. Taylor quickly in again to Retallick. Lamape to show that power. 14 tries in Super Rugby. Equal top try scorer in this season's competition. Aaron Smith. Moody again. Captain Reid. Chop tackle from Jamie George. Barrett. And there were some big men in the way, Itoje and Faletau, but it's fallen to Taylor. And there's an advantage here for the offside against the Lions. Leonard Brown, no way through.
Interesting change in the way New Zealand are playing. Debutant Nani Laumape, local player, twice in the first few minutes of this half has been used directly. First receiver, they're just giving him the ball and he is smashing straight onto the gain line and over the gain line. He's so powerful. Sean O'Brien, his detail was Sonny Bill Williams. He's going to have to think about this guy now. Against the Lions on Tuesday, you can see just what a huge game he played. And he is just starting to look menacing in this half.
Well, the Lions knew they had to block the road. Sonny Bill Williams, the Sonny Bill Highway, if you like. And we're driving down it too now. Lamape, and he is a handful too. Retallick puts in a contact lens. And eyeing up the post. Beauden Barrett. And you could be forgiven for thinking there was something wrong with your own eyes there, as that one missed.
Oh, well, that is the Beauden Barrett that everybody in Britain and Ireland has spent 9 months crossing their fingers and every other digit and hoping he'll kick like that, because he can. He hasn't for a while, but that's two bad ones tonight.
Sexton restarts. Dag is there again. It's been held up, but New Zealand get it to ground.
Slight concern for the Lions. First 4 minutes of this second half, New Zealand have camped themselves in the Lions' territory. They'll be more than happy with that, even with a man down. They'll feel if they can stay there, if they can keep territorial control, something will come of it at some stage. And I think it's fair to say, Miles, the conditions are improving markedly now. Markedly.
Just picking up, Miles, on what you said earlier about if not now, then when. I mean, that's the most profound statement of the night. All Blacks, 14 men. Beauden Barrett, goal kicker, not kicking the threes from in front. Wet, Lions, 1-0 down. Desperate men to save a series. Let's not beat about the bush here. They should now win this game. It is advantage Lions. They have to take this home tonight.
And of course, if they don't, the series is gone. Controlled by Reed again. Naholo get into that channel. Sexton bundled over. Reed has a go, but Lions had men there to stop him that time, and Alan Wynne-Jones tries to do the same, but it's a good leg drive once more from the All Blacks. Barrett floats it to Leonard Brown. Here's a chance, though, for a turnover. A bit high from Murray, has to be careful. And it will be examined. Moody puts it on the floor. Kane. And then Barrett. So it is going to be a penalty for the high challenge from Conor Murray. Keep giving New Zealand shots.
And giving Barrett a chance to atone for that last miss. I watched him yesterday from 40 metres. He strikes a very clean ball. The only question is Kieran Reid thinking, do we go to the corner here? There are a man down in the lineup, though. I think in a game like this, Barrett has to take on the responsibilities of the 3 points. He does.
Yes, on a night like this, you've got to back your kicker. Well, there'll come a point where if Barrett misses again, they'll have to think about a change of kicker. But at the moment, it is over to the fly half.
Well, I can't see Israel Dag, the likeliest man, taking over. So what would happen? Aaron Cruden would come onto the field to assume the kicking responsibilities. Beauden Barrett would go to full back, with Israel Dag either moving to the wing or coming off the field. Those are the real kicking options they have. He's certainly got the distance, Miles. We watched him yesterday. He thumps a really long ball. Not always accurate, though.
He's a beautiful striker of a ball, as is his brother Geordie. Other brother Scott is on the bench tonight. The second row. Can Barrett do this one? Yes, he can, and that says a lot about him. There's a lot of pressure on that one.
If I was Warren Gatlin now, I'd get a message out to the players. I'd say this is a big 5, 7, 10 minutes from you guys, because we've got Owens, McGrath, Sinclair, Laws, Standard up front, Webty or Noel behind. This is a huge bench. They need to be on earlier, and maybe they would have thought they need to up the pressure on this All Black side.
Barrett looking for the angle for Naholo to run in, and Sexton finds that one dropping, and then wasn't touched by Sexton. George had every right to play it. He knocked it on, though. Cody Taylor. Warburton with that tackle. Knocked out by Faletau, of course. That one Cordova. And Liam Williams knew it was coming, and he braced himself and did really well. Murray. Jones. And still. Farrell. Referee does not think that was late from Taylor. Ioane feeds. And that's good from Leonard Brown. Really got the legs moving there. Picked up by Retallick. Toje almost takes him on. Smith. Ioane. Leonard Brown again to Dag. Once more, you wouldn't know they were a man down. Moody. Another score here, and it will be the Lions getting really anxious. Dag going through, nearly lost control of the ball. And they're calling on this side, and Barrett has seen that, and Elliot Daly has to be first to react here, and is. Still not going to get away with it totally.
First sign really of New Zealand picking up their game with Toje penalised. Lovely line from Anton Leonard-Brown. Again, I'll just say I don't know how the first 10 minutes of this half territory stats are, but they are way too much in favour of New Zealand at the moment. Retalic's such a fine player. Faletau complains that he's taken out by Laumape. The referee says straight away, ignore it. Barrett loves this little chip, but Daly's got all the pace to get there first.
All Blacks thought they had a case the other way on that. And the original penalty, not from the most favourable position for a man that's not been on top of his kicking game tonight, any stretch of the imagination.
Miles, you look at those possession stats. Lions have got to turn that around, even against 14 New Zealanders. If it stays 77-23, they are not going to win this game, because with the possession, New Zealand are making sure they get in territory. They're not scoring tries at the moment, but they're eking away points, and there you can see 89%. So New Zealand have started this second half in utterly dominant form. 14 or 15 men, it's all the All Blacks.
Said before half-time the Lions would have a chance to confer, get their ducks in a row at half-time. Of course, the same New Zealand, and it looks like the messages in their changing room have been absolutely spot on, and the response from the players, more importantly, has been spot on too. And the flag stay down, so Barrett misses again.
What a key moment that was. If Barrett gets that kick straight, two people, Kieran Reid walks in, absolutely walks in. Williams had made the tackle on Dag, no fullback at home. Because it went on the angle, Daly could get back. Reid was coasting in under the sticks, would have been 19-9. Remember that moment.
Changes in the All Black front row. Crockett and Famuina. Moody and Franks relieved. Here's Barrett. And if this is deemed to be a penalty, and it will be checked, it's from where the ball landed. Williams catches and takes it on, but the whistle has gone. And if that is late, that is a senseless one. It really is. Does he change his line?
I think it's a penalty.
Makavunapola blunders into Beauden Barrett. Sam Warburton wants his player to walk away. He's trying to make the point that he kept his line and he was hurtling in. Barrett's just missed another, and the Lions' response is, there you go, have another.
If you're in the air, you can't check your line, and that's why it so often is a harsh penalty. But when you're on the ground and you're running like Mako Vunipola was, he had an opportunity to veer away there. He just went through on Beauden Barrett, and well, will it cost 3 points? He has to cut the penalties out. The Lions have struggled with penalties all tour. And if you watch the replay there is no doubt, Miles, that he could have moved significantly off to the left there. It's not a massive infringement, but it's a daft penalty.
He does look straight towards the referee, or where he thought he might have been. Mako Vunipola.
In the context of this game, Bowden Barrett, 3 out of 6, 50%. That is not test match winning stats normally, especially when the All Blacks don't score tries. This becomes crucial. It's a kicking day, it's not a try scoring day.
And this one's going to be very close, but from the New Zealand point of view, it's the right side of the upright. Start to think, had he got them all, then New Zealand could almost have been out of sight. But of course, the game doesn't take that course if they go over. History plays out in a different way, but the point is that New Zealand have certainly left some points out there, as the Lions did last week. Lions have to start to create now. It's a good chase on the restart.
Very clean play from Barrett.
Yeah, we've got to be very, very careful, because we cannot keep on giving penalties away. Not only do they just keep the scoreboard ticking over, we can't allow, Brad Barrett missing another 3 kicks, but it keeps them in territory, it keeps the All Blacks in territory. It allows the clock to run down. That's the most important part. The All Blacks, we'd be loving this. We need discipline in our game.
Sean O'Brien takes on Bowden Barrett. And Jamie George to Sexton, and then Daly. Good fly up from Leonard Brown.
I tell you, Mako Vunipola wiped out Bowden Barrett there. He smashed him.
Well, he's just fed the ball on here to Johnny Sexton. And here's Jonathan Davis and Faletau. And I can hear the television match official getting involved on Mako Vunipola. This really might not end well for Vunipola. That was Dagu gone back. Given 3 penalties away already. And now we have a very important moment coming here.
It's a very low, and I thought it was a dangerous clean out. Barrett went straight down. Bang. There is intent, isn't there? There's not a huge contact.
Mind you, we have seen so many of that type of clear out in this series. Oh, that doesn't look so good when you see the shape of the arm.
His right shoulder catches him in the face there. Face, shoulder.
This will be evening things up for a period. Not sure we'll be seeing Mako Vunipola come back. Not because he's got a red card, he's got a yellow, but it's not been his night. Penalties given away. Jack McGrath is the loose head replacement.
Four penalties is really hurting the Lions. Points, territory, the lot. Agree with you, Miles. I don't think we'll see Mako come back. I must admit, I still believe Vunipola is far more advantageous to a team at this level of rugby coming off the bench when the game breaks up. I don't think he's the greatest scrummer either. I don't think starting him was the ideal selection. We shall see.
Going to come a point as well when the Lions will start to think about the clock as well as the scoreboard.
Well, if All Blacks get the next score, that's definitely the case. At the moment, 6 is all right.
Aaron Smith. Taylor. racking up these penalties now. And that'll take some catching, and Liam Williams has caught it. But again, advantage was being played.
Second half, the Lions have conceded 5 penalties. New Zealand have got their discipline absolutely right, have conceded nothing. And if Beauden Barrett does have his kicking boots on again and he makes it 5 out of 8, I don't know, to me 9 points seems quite a large margin at the moment. They go Reid at the front. Penalty given for coming offside early there, and Barrett has another chance.
Well, the Lions return to their posts once more, crossing their fingers that this man, who's having a roller coaster of a night with the boot, returns to his missing days. And this a biggie, takes the All Blacks out beyond the one score. And that's exactly what they're going to be.
They're doing it dirty tonight. There's not much All Black magic, but they're muscling in 14 men, and tactically they have been very good in this second half. The Lions have really not helped themselves, but New Zealand have been good.
Courtney Laws comes on. Alan Wynne-Jones leaves the field. Sexton restarts. There is red everywhere in the stadium, but the biggest swathe of red is away to our left as we look here from the main camera gantry. Lions playing towards those supporters in this second half, and they just haven't given them that chance to get out of their seats as Naholo goes down now.
At least the Lions get themselves a bit of territory. The line out 40 metres from the New Zealand line. Pressure on Naholo there. And the Lions, 6 minutes or so, 14 against 14. It's a forearm. It may well be accidental. I hope it's accidental. But Sean O'Brien clobbered Naholo there.
Occasionally you also have to acknowledge what the All Blacks are doing and understand that Aaron Smith's kicking game and Beauden Barrett's kicking game, when clearing their own lines, when going for touch, has been wonderful. A real display of calmness and composure, SQ.
Yeah, they certainly have. And when you look at it, the All Blacks are saying to themselves, now we don't need to score 4 tries. That's all we need to do is win this game if we're going to win the Test series. And they're playing in the right area as well. They're putting the balls into the corner. They're frustrating. And we're allowing them to do that by our discipline.
Aaron Cruden on. Naholo is being checked. Here's Murray. Sexton, Farrell, Sexton, Daly, Williams. Somehow they've got it out wide to Watson, and Watson is putting his foot down here. Anthony Watson, and at last in this second half, the Lions have something to cheer about. Well, sort of. Only a real cheer should they get the points. Should they create and take a chance? And they are going wide now with Williams and Faletau. Faletau! Oh, Toby Faletau!
Well, like New Zealand last week, they didn't have much time in the opposition 22, but when they got there, it was deadly. The pull-back ball there. Liam Williams just gives a one-on-one there. A step by Faletau. He's through Israel Dag. Dag will be very disappointed just about the Lions' first attacking play in the 22. The little check that comes up from Faletau just holds Dag, and he bounces off him. Brilliant finish from the Bath number 8.
A great finish from Faletau. To Lupe Faletau. Toby, when you get excited. Immense power. Farrell has left that a long way from the post. But it's certainly got the Lions right back in the hunt here. That try from Faletau.
All came off the top liner. Sexton goes to his classic move, around the corner. 12, Farrell pulls it back behind his 13, Davies. Get into the outside channel, come back. Farrell the wide distribution. That's why Gatland went Sexton Farrell. It might not win him the game, it might not be enough, but that was his thought process, to pick Sexton at 10 and Farrell at 12.
Interesting as well that Naholo, a very big specimen winger, he was off the right wing. Dag went onto the right wing with Barrett at full back, and Dag got blasted physically by Faletau.
Furlong goes, Sinclair on. And there he is supporting Itoje. Into the final quarter now. And for the Lions, that's a very good way to enter it. Watson, good chase. And Sinclair as well, the fresh man driving through. Just needs to keep that in control. We're hearing that Maisaki Naholo has failed his HIA. There's try scorer Faletau. Really let himself go there. It came from the heart, that finish, didn't it? There's Ioane. Sexton's tackle. Charged down by Courtney Laws. Now Itoje's trying to get on the end of this, but Barrett's got it back so coolly, like he did last week with that sumptuous pickup, and then Taylor was on hand to support. Sam Cane. And the All Blacks have got it back again, and their tempo is being set here. Looking for a crack in the defence. Looking for the Lions maybe to show another lack of discipline, but O'Brien heeds the warning there. Daly. Ooh, that's gone a long way. Doesn't want to go too far though. Look at the roll on that. Lions fans trying to blow it back down that end, but that is a big loss of ground again.
He's got such a great boot, Elliot Daly. Makes a lovely contact with it, and Barrett just saunters backwards, thinking sometimes you don't get your desserts. It's worth pointing out as well, the Lions scored that try while they were down to 14 against 14. So they've done really well in that situation, as we see McGrath coming on now.
Adi Savia for New Zealand as well, for Sam Cane.
What a performance from Sam Cane. He's been outstanding. Adi Savia gives them something different. As Sean O'Brien goes as well.
Well, sacrifice because of the sin bin period.
Adi Savia, one of the most pyrotechnic back row forwards in world rugby, plays 6, 7, 8. He is so quick. He's such a talented player. I don't think he's a dog quite like Sam Cane, but he's a wonderful attacking weapon. Barrett at full-back now, Cruden on the pitch. This is where New Zealand will try and make it tell with their bench.
Leonard Brown back on the flank. Smith. Laumape. Good drive, supported by Cruden, and look at the impact of the bench. Salvia was there as well. Taylor. Smith to Whitelock. Cruden. Liam Williams, it's all down to you now, or maybe not. The ball had too much on it. Referee's back again, though.
Relief for the Lions. The penalty goes over. It's still just 7 points. But once again, Laumape has had a massive impact in this second half. That first receiver ball to him has caused the Lions no end of problems. And Sean O'Brien went off. With O'Brien off, he just bouldered his way through the Lions' defence.
Back to full complement now.
There you can see the line. Farrell, Jonathan Davis, Sexton, you can't hold him. So powerful.
TJ Perenara on for Aaron Smith. Of course, Perenara on his home ground, a Hurricane.
A real threat to the Lions. Perenara, outstanding player. Nothing in it between him and Aaron Smith. Smith is a game controller. Perenara does brilliant things coming off the bench.
So the gap is 7.
Warren Gatland has one of the biggest calls to make now in his coaching career. Sexton and Farrell are the boys who can give him the try. 7 points behind. But Laumape is slowly but surely taking this game away from the Lions with his run after run down their channel. So does he bring Teo on and trust to score a try with Teo out there, or does he stick with his 10 and 12?
I think I bring Teo on now because we need that pace, we need that dynamism to get over that gain line, and more importantly, we need to stop Laumape getting over their gain line.
For now, Teo stays on the bench, and he believed one of the Lions' best players last week before he was removed from the field.
Here's the Faletau try. Naholo is off, and Dag, a smaller man, just gets buffeted off by Faletau. It's a very strong finish. Even Rotalic can't get to him. I think that decision about Teo as well, it's not just about how you're trying to play, it's where you're trying to play. The Lions have to get down in the 22.
Sinclair to Murray, and then Jonathan Davis. Murray again, and Sinclair again. Quickly back to the scrum half, then it's Sexton. Oh, Jamie George going through! In goes Murray. It's gone to the short side. Oh, it's not gone to the short side. It's gone to the try line. And Conor Murray. A brilliant finish.
Jamie George picks an all-black line. Brilliant. The Lions just faded off here. Jamie George, we've seen it so often for him with England and Saracens. Sexton with the delay. George carries superbly, and it's quick ball. And Conor Murray just comes off his right foot. Perenara is deflected for a second. The little step there. He sees the hole. He sees glory. He sees a chance for the Lions to level it at 21 all.
The call has been for composure, and it was supplied there by Conor Murray. Hurt New Zealand before in Chicago, and he's hurt them here in Wellington tonight. How much? We will have to wait and see, but what a finish we have in store here. Can Farrell level it?
So little territory, and 2 tries from the 22. The Lions have found their finishing.
Some of those Lions supporters can hardly bear to watch. Owen Farrell so often rises to the challenge of the most testing kick in the game. And he has risen to it again.
Well, he's missed a few in a couple of games leading up to this one, but when it matters, Owen Farrell has delivered a wonderful line from Jamie George. And the Lions need quick ball. They get quick ball. New Zealand don't attack the breakdown. Surveyor's not Sam Cane. He's not over that ball. He's off his feet and he can't make the tackle. Sam Cane missed badly there. The Lions, 21 all.
Itoje again, solid. Wow, it's tense in this ground. Sexton, Farrell, Davis. Lions look to run it out. Daly, Williams now as he bumped off the ball there. Yeko Papers holding out a flag. And again, it'll be from where the ball landed. Cruden is 22. Williams still on the floor.
Daly with that left-footed kick, and Cruden just wipes out. Williams out wide. It's a penalty. I don't think it's within range, even of Daly. But Farrell has to push this one towards the 22. Slow burner, Miles. It has now exploded into life.
I'm sure you don't need me to say, but I'll just emphasize the point. Those Lions supporters now making such a noise. Toje again calling. And Faletau, the recipient. Murray, try scorer. O'Brien. At last, the Lions into their stride with the extra man again. McGrath blocking. Got in each other's way as much as anything else.
So frustrating. The line out was very good. Very good. They had Sean O'Brien at scrum half. He faded out to the first receiver and took a really clever ball off Connor Murray straight over the gain line.
We talked about 80 minutes before the game. This is a huge 8 minutes. This draw, not good enough for us. The All Blacks 1-0 up in the series. They'll go to the third test knowing that a win is good enough to win them a series. We'd have to win it to draw the series. This is absolutely the 8 minutes of these players' lives. They need to keep the discipline. They need now, genuinely, to look each other in the eye and believe they can win this game.
And off this line out, here comes Laumape. So an interesting one. Whitelock's off, Barrett's on in the second row. You watch for Laumape, Ione up that middle, looking for the Sexton, round the corner, trying to buy the penalty.
Well, O'Brien is out. He's waiting for Laumape.
It's nice from Retallick, Ioane. Toje did his best to get in front there, to get across. And Reed now. It's pummeled back. Savia said, okay, I'll have a go. And that's a pretty good go, and Retallick does the clear out. And then it's Reed again, and Itoje, but bouncing off him is Leonard Brown. And we have entered slugging match territory now. This is gloves off. 7 minutes of a series in the balance. Perenara to Cruden, and through goes Itoje. It's a really good offload under pressure. Tackle from Laws. Wyatt Crockett, 49 consecutive tests as a winner. Reed. Perenara. Savir again. Barrett. Dropped by Laumape. In goes Murray. Farrell charged down, but it was advantage. Just wasn't called over because of the immediacy of the charge down.
Lions go back to a scrum, and it gives them an opportunity there, and some fantastic defence from the Lions. 96 tackles made, only 5 miss. They've come out on top on the defensive game. Farrell gets away with that. Just went for a speculative kick to the corner, but they have the scrum. Do they have the belief, as Scott described it, to go out and beat the All Blacks here in Wellington? 47 straight wins for New Zealand in New Zealand. It's a huge challenge.
Not lost at home since 2009. South Africa in Hamilton. That was by just 3 points.
Sexton earns his corn now, along with Farrell. Lions don't need to try and win this game from 50 metres. They need to get themselves in a position where they can pressurise New Zealand. They've seen today that the All Blacks have had little moments of panic. The Lions need to get them down in that area where they can force a penalty or an error.
The All Blacks are going with a 7-man scrum. They're keeping their back line. This is on the halfway line. This is Daly or Farrell can kick this. Sinclair, this is your moment. This is a time to win the scrum pen of your life in kicking range via 7-man All Black scrum.
With the French referee never shy of giving a scrum penalty. All the experience of Wyatt Crockett against young Sinclair. As Will says, this is potentially his moment. McGrath too. Elliot Daly was denied in the Highlanders match when the ball was rolled back a couple of metres. But he can kick long. Referee were reluctant to give it as it's a game decider potentially, and he doesn't give anything there. And Sexton gives it to Farrell, and Farrell with that competitive streak of his. Murray, Laws looking for a way through, looking to put that pressure back on so the Lions can show this venom. There's the penalty. There it is. And Sinclair was part of it. Not at the scrum. And the referee has no option there when the ball is with the man and he's tackled in the air.
It's an anomaly, but it's also one of the laws of the game. And Farrell has what you would say for the last 5 years of a career would be the most straightforward penalty kick. It's probably the most pressurised of his life. Sinclair is in the air. Faumuina has tackled him in the air. And Farrell has a kick with some pressure.
His father Andy, part of the coaching staff again. First father-son combination on a Lions tour last time out. They're here together once more. And he, like Warren Gatland and the rest of the coaching staff, can do nothing now. It's over to the youngster, Owen Farrell. Three minutes, 3 points. For a rugby player from Britain and Ireland, this is what dreams are made of. Coming back against the great All Blacks on their turf. But it is not done yet because they are great All Blacks. Who can take the restart? Cruden's just put just enough on it. Savea, like a man possessed there.
So cool from Cruden.
Look at Savea, like he was cool in Dublin Cruden when he broke Irish hearts. There's Barrett and Perinara. Lions have to find that discipline now. Reed, 2 minutes. Leonard Brown dropped. Jonathan Davis. It's still in, and it's Bowden Barrett scooting over this familiar turf of his, and he's setting off again. Look at him go. Dag! Great tackle comes in. That was Faletau. And then it was Sinclair. At the moment, the Lions eager but holding that offside line well. Just the right side of it. Savea. Can anybody be more pumped than Savea at the moment? Cruden's going cross-field. This is risky. And it's out. Put a set together here, the British and Irish Lions, and they are beating New Zealand in Wellington.
Savea throwing everything at it now, and Cruden, he went for one of New Zealand's big plays, the crossfield kick. They're a man down, you've got to remember it. They are paying the price for this.
Really showed there, didn't it, Stuart?
Oh, yeah.
No Sonny Bill Williams in midfield. Itoje, vital man at this line-out. Nathan Harris is on at hooker for New Zealand, for Cody Taylor. If they won the Lions, it was never going to be by much. That same three-point margin as it stands as South Africa beat New Zealand all those years ago in Hamilton. On a very British and Irish night, weather-wise, in Wellington. For long periods, it seemed that the Lions would not take advantage of the extra man. They have done eventually, but now this is what matters. Do they back themselves to rumble it away, or do they get the ball out of there? Well, they've got to win it first. Booted away by Murray. The end result, well, it's not far off perfect for the Lions. New Zealand know they have to get going quickly and do. Here goes Barrett, who's covering the space into the breadbasket of Sean O'Brien, Jonathan Davis, and now with 30 seconds in this area of the field, the Lions can control it. Murray, O'Brien, he goes on the Tullow tank, scorer of the dream try last week. But the real dream is the win. And there's Warburton, and it's 10 seconds, and the crowd are counting it down. Laws, this is it. The Lions will level the series. They have their cup final. They end New Zealand's long and beaten home run. And now they have a chance for rugby, for sporting immortality.
An astonishing fight back from the Lions, considering how little territory they had for how long in that second half. Considering how their finishing has let them down all tour, they got themselves 2 opportunities in the 22 and they took them fantastically. The New Zealand bench, so often a strength, I think was a weakness. Savea came on to win the game for them, but in the absence of Sam Cane, Conor Murray, the man who ends the game, was the one who picked it up and drove through the heart of the All Blacks. Farrell, when it matters, maintained his poise. He's missed a couple earlier in the tour. Not today, not when it mattered. A wonderful win for the Lions, an incredible week in the build-up to Auckland. Gatland and Howley, wow.
From young boy to professional star, either as player or coach on the world stage. This is what you want to do, to be part of an amazing, never to be forgotten day like this. But now a never to be forgotten series may be, if the Lions can go on from here. Sir Ian, we're thinking of your old mate. We really are. So glad that you're feeling better. And your old mate Jim Telfer once said, "This is your Everest, boys." Well, these Lions are now halfway up their mountain. It's still a long way to the summit, but the view tonight is not a bad one at all. Don't get dizzy, boys.
No, 24 years ago it was 1-1. New Zealand came back with a very different game plan. We've got to remember that for 55 minutes they had 14 players. We've got to remember that conditions favoured the Lions. In all theory, New Zealand have to be favourites going into the third test. But what the Lions have done today is turn logic on its head. It can be about more than technique. It can be heart and head. The Lions have given themselves a sniff at glory.
Let's go straight and hear from the captain, Sam Warburton.